playoffs on Sunday in a dominating win at the Indy Road Course. Charlotte FC lost to Inter Miami in the Leagues Cup, and Lucas Glover goes back-to-back, winning the St. Jude Championship in a playoff win over Patrick Cantlay.
WSIC weather: sunny, hot today with a high of 93. The heat index reaching 101. There's a chance of showers and storms in the afternoon and on into the evening. Partly cloudy overnight, a low of 74. Sunny, 91 tomorrow. Mike Jackson, WSIC News.
Any views expressed in this program do not necessarily represent those of WSIC.
All systems are a go.
Ladies and gentlemen, hold on to your seats. Taking Care of Iredell with North Carolina State Representative Jeff McNeely is about to begin. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good morning, Iredell County. I'm going to get my headset working here. All right, here we go. We're getting ready to get going. If I can get live. Anyway, hey, Joe, if you would, see if you can text any questions. Put that comment in there for me. All right, we're ready now. We're ready. Good morning, everybody. It's Taking Care of Iredell with Representative Jeff McNeely. I hope everybody's doing well. It's a little hot, and we're trying to get ourselves on Facebook so we can get rolling this morning. Hey, got a heck of a good show today. They always are, all of them, but this one may be even specialer. Is that a word, Joe? Specialer? I think it is, or special. Let's just put it that way. Anyway, got Miss North Carolina, Taylor Lloyd, homegrown girl here from Iredell County, going to be on. She was Miss Statesville. Got me up and going. Cool. All right, now we're going to watch and see what's happening here. So anyway, just go ahead and give us a holler in if you want to talk first part of the show, 704-873-1400. Just a couple things. Want to start going down the list. A lot of going on right now, Want everybody to please keep the people over in Hawaii and Maui, Lahaina, which is one of the towns on the little island of Maui, beautiful little town. Many, many years ago, went there on a honeymoon, and looking back at Main Street now and some of the places we ate and shopped and did, and they're gone. So sad, and loss of life is growing and growing, unfortunately. So please keep all the people of Hawaii in your prayers, and especially Maui and Lahaina. Beautiful place. So sad to see what's happened. So sad. Well, we're going back to work, folks. I've been home now for about 3 weeks, sweating it out at the feed mill. Trust me, it's been fun. Wish we could have done this back in April and took off when the weather was nicer, but that's the way it goes. Got a lot of work to do, but the budget is getting really close. The word on the street is sometime about the middle of September it's going to be done. Trying to iron out a little bit of the technical difficulties here and there. So bear with us. We do have some bills to override on some vetoes. We have the women's sports bill where it's just allowing women to play women, keeping any men out of there. So we have that bill. Also, we have the Parents' Bill of Rights, which is a very important bill. It's going to give parents a lot of say in their child's education, and also with their health, as far as being able to get all the information that's out there on what's going on with their child. Right now, the way it is, the school system's not necessarily telling the parents everything that the child's health is involved in. So that's going to be important, I feel like. Also, we have the school choice bill coming up, and that's an important one for a lot of people. So we'll see how that gets funded. We had about a $3 billion surplus from last fiscal year, plus about $1.17 billion coming back from last year's budget. So where we, the agencies did a good job. We had a lot of money in last year's budget. Some of it was given to us. Some of it would come from just the state of North Carolina and surplus of what we needed. So, we're looking at ways to try to increase our tax package and get more back to the taxpayers, let them keep it. Not even get it back, but let them keep it. So working on that in the budget, but we got to be careful and not go too far too fast because we're just one part of the economy in North Carolina. You have the federal side of it too, so always remember that. But got a lot of good things going on. We're not broke. We have money, and we're going to have to figure out how to spend it wisely, and we will do that. And that's one of the reasons this took so long, to make sure we are going to do this right. So just bear with us. A lot of chatter out there right now about Republicans this, can't get along that and whatnot. But, there's a whole lot of cooks looking at trying to make one recipe in this budget, and we got to make sure we bake the cake just right. So just let us know that we're doing the best we can to try to get it right. Something important's happened here just over last week. U.S. House of Representative Dan Bishop from, I think it's the 8th District, has now put his name in for the Attorney General's race. And there's good people already in there on the Republican side. Tom Murray, Sam Hayes, I know both of them. I know Sam well. He's the lawyer kind of for our caucus in the House, for that matter. Both of them quality candidates, do fine. Dan Bishop will be a great AG. And Dan's been down in, he was in Raleigh for a bit and served with him. He was in the Senate, I was in the House, and then he went on and ran for Congress. And just can't say enough good things. I will say this, though, and like myself sometimes, Dan speaks his mind, and some people don't like to hear it, and I think he realizes he's going to struggle going forward with the management or upper management that's in the House of Representatives right now with McCarthy and whatnot, and Dan feels like he can do more good for the state of North Carolina in the Attorney General's office here than he can. And, folks, it's been forever. I actually thought we had never had an Attorney General that was a Republican, but now from what I understand, in like 1892 or something like that, we actually did, and I'm thinking it might have actually been an appointed. So I don't know if we ever have had an elected Attorney General that's a Republican in the state of North Carolina. If we have, it's been a long, long, long time. So any of those men are good men, but Dan Bishop would do an excellent job. And I hope to get Dan on the show. He's a member of the Freedom Caucus up there in D.C., and he's held a hard line. He was pretty upset about the way the budget deal went down as far as raising the debt ceiling. He was very adamant about cutting $4 trillion out over the next 10 years, and somehow or another we ended up adding $4 trillion spending over the next 10 years. That's an $8 trillion swing, any way you do the math. So anyway, but good luck to all that are out there running for Attorney General for us in North Carolina, but hopefully get Dan Bishop on and look forward to that. Well, and like I said, anybody wants to call in and talk about something, hey, love to hear from you. Getting ready to go on a break here in about 2 minutes, but love to hear from you right after the 11:15 break. Well, Finch ratings system has downgraded the United States of America from AAA to AA+. First time ever that now all three of the different rating factors, companies, you'll call them whatever, have downgraded us. Standard & Poor's had already downgraded us back in the about 2010, 2012, but now Finch has. And a lot of people say, okay, we're down from AAA to AA+. What does that mean? Well, I'll tell you what it means. It means that the people are looking at us across the whole world and realizing we're not doing a very good job of governing. We're spending way too much, and our deficit is out of control, and nobody's willing to step up and stop this madness and correct it. We're just spending more and more. And I've said this many times on the show in the past. We're approaching to where our interest payment is $1 trillion a year, folks. I mean, it's just craziness. It's just craziness. So this will be interesting to see. Like I said, House passed that bill, $8 trillion more spending now set up in this budget negotiation that went through the debt ceiling. I just don't know where this madness is going to stop. And it troubles me. We're $32 trillion in debt, and there's no holding back of the federal government. So pray for this country and pray that the leaders understand that we need to be fiscally conservative in our approach to try to fix this. So we got a lot of issues to take care of. But like I said, going from AAA to AA+. I know when I was county commissioner, I was kind of the one I felt like they kept the eye to make sure that we kept our fund balance where we could stay at a AAA rating and not fall. So it's critical in all levels of government. All right, we'll be right back here right after the 15 break. And stay tuned and give us a holler. All right.
Taking Care of Iredell with NC Representative Jeff McNeely will return after this short break on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Asheville native Kanan Cox is performing Friday, August 25th at Kane Center for the Arts. Get your tickets while they last. Show starts at 8 p.m. Visit canearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. Want to showcase your music skills? Richard's Coffee Shop and Military Museum.
WSIC, are you calling for Jeff McNeely's show?
Yes, sir.
All right, we're on break. I'll bring you back in here in about 2 minutes.
Hold tight. We'll get you.
Thank you.
All right.
Ever dreamed of seeing Freddie Mercury and Queen live? Absolute Queen, a Queen tribute, will be playing at Boatyard Eats in Cornelius Friday, August 18th. Tickets are $20 online. Enjoy live music and at a fun venue. Absolute Queen, Friday night at Boatyard Eats in Cornelius. To buy tickets, visit boatyardlkn.com. Ever wonder what Mooresville was like in 1873? The historic downtown walking tour is a self-guided tour that will take you on a stroll through Mooresville's past to learn about the history of the town. Featuring 18 stops, the tour begins and ends at the corner of Main Street and Center Avenue. It should take 1 hour to complete. For more info, visit downtownmooresville.com. What would it be like to play glow stick bingo? Come check out the Bingo Glow Party at the Statesville Civic Center. Tuesday, August 22nd, doors open at 6 p.m. All games will be played under blacklight. Glow stick bingo at the Statesville Civic Center. For more info, visit civiccenter.statesvillenc.net. Have an event you'd like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between?
Nope.
Visit
we got the first one still.
WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
I'm Holly Vale with your WSIC forecast. 12 mostly sunny skies today with a high near 93. A heat index value as high as 103 and a light southwest breeze. Partly cloudy for this evening with a low around 75. And mostly sunny skies for Tuesday with a high near 92. Heat index values as high as 101 and partly cloudy for Tuesday night with a low around 65. I'm Holly Vale from WSIC's Weather Center.
For 41 years, your Auto Plus Auto Parts store is Johnson's Parts and Supply. Johnson's Parts provides quality auto parts, helping you to get your work done quickly. Your Auto Plus Auto Parts store is located at 1112 Shelton Avenue in Statesville, open Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., and on Saturdays from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m., closed on Sunday. Johnson's Parts, your Auto Plus Auto Parts store, located at 1112 Shelton Avenue in Statesville.
Now, more Taking Care of Iredell with NC Representative Jeff McNeely on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
All right, back here for the next 15-minute part of the show. I think we got a caller. We're going to take him, Joe, and see who we got here. Hey, this is Representative Jeff McNeely. Who we got?
Hey, Jeff, good morning. This is William. How are you today?
Hey, William, I'm good. You're getting where you're being pretty faithful. I like talking with you. What you got on your mind this morning?
I tell you, we're in a middle of the house. Ain't no doubt we are that. And the unfortunate thing about it is the only one that I think that we can get back up there to get things turned in the right direction is the one that they're trying to keep out of there. Because they know if he gets back up there that he's going to fire everybody because they would lose their jobs. So that's one way of looking at it. The candidates that are running for the Republican side of things that possibly could be conservative to the point of where we can get things turned around, I just don't know if they're mean enough because we got a lot of mean, bad stuff going on up there in Washington, D.C. And there's two of them, in my opinion, might do a good job up there, but they've already been up there once before, and they know what the chaos is. And then the other one, I'm not going to name any names, but he's from Florida.
Yeah.
I don't think his heart's in it, Jeff. And I'm sorry, I can't vote for somebody that's not going to try to do the job. And he's doing a real good job down there in Florida, and that's where maybe he needs to stay and keep that state free down there. So I don't know. We're up against it here because they're going to keep coming with indictment after indictment indictment, until something sticks.
Yeah.
And let's face it, this thing that happened in 21, in my opinion, those people that were up there protesting, there might have been some legitimate people protesting for their reasons, but that one guy that came out of the car that had the bull horns or buffalo horns, that idiot, and the rest of them were paid to go up there to make things look bad.
Oh, instigator, yeah. Yeah.
We all know that. I mean, anybody that's got any common sense ought to know that.
Yeah.
So the ones that were good protesters, they left, because I've talked to some of those people, and they left. When they seen all that stuff going on, they left.
Yeah.
So there's that, and that's what it is. That's what it boils down to, Jeff. These people are just trying to go after Donald Trump because they don't want him back up there.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, it looks like Georgia's getting ready to put down some kind of indictment. You got a Democrat attorney general down there, and so she's going to do her part to the party, just like everybody else has chipped in, the one in New York, and so forth and so on. I'm sure Josh Stein, being a Democrat, he'll probably get Donald Trump for a seatbelt violation as he drove through the state sometime back in the 2020 or somewhere in there. So they're all going to go after him one way or another. That's what their plan is. And I can't understand if the plan's to indict, or if the plan is to incite, or if the plan is they think that will rile their base and they can beat him, so they want him to make. I don't know what the plan is over there, and it may be they have no real plan. They just know they want to go after Donald Trump with everything they got. I'm not sure.
Well, they just want to keep everything like it is, like they're going up there in Washington, D.C., and anybody that tries to buck up against that, they want them out of there. They want to get rid of them. In the cancel culture that we live in nowadays, if you're not a part of the agenda of what they think the agenda should be, out the door you go.
Yeah, just always remember this on January the 6th. Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, but also Mitch McConnell, and I think McCartney was the minority leader in the House. All these people were given information by the Baltimore FBI division, said that there was a high probability that there would be violence and a problem on January the 6th, and actually recommended that they bring in the National Guard or more law enforcement, whatever it took. And all four of those, both sides agreed that the line coming out of Pelosi's office was that would make a bad look on the United States of America for us to militarize that area on that day.
Yeah.
This was the Pearl Harbor effect.
Really?
We sucked Japan into attacking us by starving them. Not saying they wouldn't anyway, but it's kind of the setup. It's the setup.
It exactly is, Jeff. And the whole thing, in my opinion, is if Donald Trump that day, if he would have just stomped his foot down and said, all right, enough's enough. And I know he kind of tried to a little bit. But anyway, if he'd have just said enough's enough and brought reinforcements in and told everybody to get out of there, use their butts for a broom and their heads for a mop out the door kind of thing, like cleaning house at a bar somewhere when things get stupid, just clean everybody out of there and shut it down. If he had done that, the outlook of this January 6th insurrection would have been different.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Well. But yeah, a lot of monkey business. A lot of monkey business going on.
I'm going to vote for Donald Trump, regardless if they keep him tied up in the courts and possibly even put him behind bars. I don't know. I mean, because right now the rest of the candidates are running. I just don't think they're mean enough, Jeff. And I know that sounds mean to say that, but there's going to have to be somebody that's going to have to be mean to deal with all that mess that's going on up there in Washington, D.C., because that's all it is.
Well, and I'll say this. Donald Trump didn't fire enough the last time. That was it. He got rid of some at the top, but you got to go 6 and 7 and 8 layers deep in cleaning house in the bureaucracy that we have in D.C. It's there. It's entrenched. Yeah.
They don't call it the deep state for nothing.
That's right.
For sure.
It's entrenched. All right. Well, hey, good talking with you, William.
All right, you take care, Jeff.
Thanks. All right, man. See you. All right. Jumping in real quick on a couple different things here. One, over the weekend, kind of odd, I felt like, on a Sunday vote, the North Carolina State Board of Elections voted to recognize the No Labels Party. And it was a 4-1 vote, so that means actually one Republican voted to do this. Felt it kind of odd that it happened on a Sunday, but I don't understand how their parliamentary procedure works on the State Board of Elections, so maybe that was normal. Doesn't seem normal. But anyway, they had to vote, and the only thing I can figure is one side thinks that it's going to take votes away from the Republicans, and I guess one of the Republicans thinks it's going to take votes away from the Democrats. So it'd be curious to see exactly how that happens. After they gave the Green Party so much crap, now they're going ahead and affiliating another party in there. So theoretically, I think there'll be 6 different parties could have a presidential candidate on a North Carolina ballot now with this. So just thought that was a little interesting here. We're trying to figure out how this plays. I think one of the reasons the Democrats got excited is Pat McCrory's name come up, and they thought, that may take votes away from Mark Robinson and help Josh Stein get in. So beware, folks. Beware. Trojan horses everywhere you turn around. If you don't understand that metaphor, then go read your mythical Greek or ancient philosophies or whatever. Anyway, one other thing, Hunter Biden is kind of back in the news. He now has a special counsel to look into his, I guess, wayward affairs, and also, and I'm not talking about with ladies, I'm talking about monetarily here, but to look into it. The funny thing is they actually chose, Merrick Garland chose the same person that just cut Hunter Biden his plea deal to be the special counsel. This is the same person that spent 5 years trying to figure out whether the laptop that he left in a shop was real, whether all these different money laundering schemes that's come through his banking accounts actually justified dodging taxes. And most of the things he did in that 5 years was allow this statute of limitations to run out so that it would be hard to charge him. And now we've made him special counsel over the deal. Does that make a lot of sense, folks? No. So this is all a dog and pony show that they're going to tromp around, and guess what? They're going to end up coming out and saying that Hunter Biden doesn't even have to do a plea deal. He's completely innocent now. He's innocent of all this. Just wait. It ain't over. This is how politics works, and you got a weaponized Department of Justice that is doing your hench work for you, and that is exactly what's happening with the Biden administration right now. So just thinking a little bit of craziness. On a closer local front of craziness also, folks, good friend of mine, Representative Tricia Cawthon from down in Mecklenburg. She's the lady that was a Democrat and switched over to the Republican Party here a couple months ago, continues, her and her family, to be terrorized by the crazy left. This time, her mother, who I know well, long-serving county commissioner down in Mecklenburg, Pat Cawthon, good lady, and one of Patricia's sons were out in Pat's car, one of Patricia's grandsons, one of Tricia's sons were out in her car, and a lady got into a road rage incident with him, trying to run him off the road, proceeded to shoot him, the bird, multiple times, blowing the horn, swerving, doing all kind of crazy stuff. Folks, have we lost our dadgum minds? It's all because Pat had a bumper sticker on the back of her car, and I guess they just assumed it was Tricia, not making that right at all. But, this is what I guess we do nowadays. We harass, we physically try to harm people that we don't agree with on their political ideology. Have we lost our minds? What kind of society have we become here? This is what happens in third world countries. This is how we go about it. You do not, I repeat, you do not try to intimidate elected officials and the things that are going on. Because this is what happens in dictatorships and crazy places in South America and Russia and all this other stuff that you see in the world. That's not America. That's not what we're about. All right, folks, stay tuned. We got Taylor Lloyd coming on. Hang in there. It's going to be good. See you in a little bit.
More Taking Care of Iredell with NZ Representative Jeff McNeely is coming up on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Local and North Carolina news now. On the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC. News, talk, now.
I'm Mike Jackson, WSIC News. An unknown scammer recently mailing notices of tax liens to some Iredell County property owners. The notice says you must call a number by this Friday to avoid enforcement action. The number listed is a known scammer number. If you're concerned that your Iredell County tax bill may not be legitimate, call the Iredell County Tax Collector's Office at 704-878-3020. And Fayetteville police say a teenage girl was shot early Sunday morning in Fayetteville. Officers said they responded around 1:15 a.m. to a club where about 50 teenagers were gathered for a birthday party. When officers arrived, they said they found a girl shot in the leg. She was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries and investigation underway. Now a look at sports. Here's Joe Berg.
Charlotte FC fell to Inter Miami in the quarterfinals of the League's Cup. Michael McDowell locked himself in the playoffs, taking home the win at the Indy Road Course. And Lucas Glover goes back-to-back, winning the FedEx St. Jude Championship.
WSIC weather, sunny, hot today, 93 the high, the heat index 101. There's a chance of afternoon showers and storms continuing into the evening.
Hey, Taylor, you there?
Low of 74. Sunny,
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
There you are. All right, good. Just hold tight about another minute and a half, and we're in a commercial deal, and we'll bring you right in.
Perfect.
All right, thank you,
Awesome, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
The Auto Parts helping you to get your work done quickly. Your Auto Plus Auto Parts store is located at 1112 Shelton Avenue in Statesville. Open Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and on Saturdays from 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Closed on Sunday. Johnson's Parts, your Auto Plus Auto Parts store, located at 1112 Shelton Avenue in Statesville.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean. Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
Ray Magliozzi here for eBay Motors. So you ordered a new air filter for your car. You try to install it, but it doesn't fit. So you take a little bit off the sides. What, still doesn't fit? Well, you could try to sit on it. Or get it right the first time with eBay Guaranteed Fit. When you see the check, you know that part's gonna fit. Air filters, brakes, headlights, over 122 million parts. Get the right parts at the right prices. eBay Motors, let's ride. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hey folks, Ryan Scott here, Randy Marion Chevrolet Estates. So let me tell you about this summer sales event going on. I tell you, Silverados, Colorados, we have got them discounted during this event. It is hot outside. The deals are even hotter at the Chevrolet store in Statesville. If you haven't seen the new Colorado, folks, you owe it to yourself. Come check that truck out. Take it home today. Come see the Silverado, whether it's a crew cab, double cab, regular cab, we got them in stock. 4-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive, pick the trim, take it home today. Your dealer is Randy Marion Chevrolet in Statesville, right on I-40.
Hey, this is Jeff McNeely. We hope you go out and visit the fine folks at G&M Milling Company in downtown beautiful Lowray, North Carolina. That's 4000 Taylorsville Highway, 704-873-5758. Give them a call or go visit for all your livestock needs, as far as feed or seed or whatever. They'll be glad to help you out. They're really good folks. I've known them for a long, long time. Go visit G&M Milling, 4000 Taylorsville Highway, Lowray, North Carolina.
Now, more Taking Care of Iredell with NC Representative Jeff McNeely on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
All right, folks, we're back here getting ready to see if we can bring our guest on. Joe, see if we can get a Miss Taylor Lloyd. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
All
Can
right.
you hear me?
Yes, I can. You sound wonderful. How are you this morning?
Thank you. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. Now, are you back at school yet? Has Chapel Hill started back yet?
Chapel Hill starts back in a couple weeks, but honestly, I am, with the job of Miss North Carolina, I am always running around, so I'm never quite just settled in one place, which is just all right with me. But I'm glad that I only have a couple classes to finish up, and my schedule is going to be really easy to continue that traveling around the state.
All right, and I've kind of maybe let the cat out of the bag that you're still in college. So, well, I tell you what, for those people who don't know you, and they should, but they don't know you, tell us, who is Taylor Lloyd? Tell us a little bit about yourself and give us a little history on you.
Well, I guess if you look me up on the internet, you'll see that I'm Miss North Carolina. And a lot of the big things about me in my life have really factored into me being able to accomplish that. But I'm a musician. I've been singing since I was 4 years old. I'm an opera singer. I'm an arts advocate, all hooked into that. I also am studying psychology at UNC, and so I'm really passionate about mental health and wellness. But I also really love spending quality time with the people that I love in my life, my family. I'm really proud that all of my grandparents are from Iredell County, and so being able to represent Statesville and being really close to my family is something that's really special to me. And I also have a cat, but I love traveling and exploring, especially around North Carolina, and I get to do a lot of that as Miss North Carolina.
Well, you're going to be busy, my dear. You are going to be so busy this coming year. It's going to be incredible, and everybody's going to want you at every place. And so anyway, and now you live down in the Mooresville area, correct?
Yes, I grew up in Mooresville, was born in Mooresville, raised there, and so my family's lived there since. And so yeah, it's been a really wonderful place to grow up. And I was just on the phone with one of my best friends from high school right before I called in here, and we always talk about how every time we come home, it always feels like there's something new to do, something new to experience. So it's literally impossible to get tired of your hometown when you go back and you visit, because Mooresville's just experiencing some really incredible growth right now.
Yes,
and
it is.
It's been really exciting to see all that.
And now, all right, and so your pathway to become Miss North Carolina was Miss Statesville. Talk a little bit about that, because there's some history there in your family that people may not realize the connection.
Yes, so my mom was Miss Statesville 1992, so exactly 30 years before I was crowned Miss Statesville, she was crowned Miss Statesville. Randolph County, so I'm pretty sure she had never been to Statesville, but she really was passionate about wanting to make it to the Miss North Carolina state. So for those of you who aren't familiar with how the process works, you have to enter a local preliminary competition and win that in order to qualify for the next level. So it's kind of like how sports are. You know, if you want to make it to the next level, you have to qualify, from the bottom up. And so my mom went to Statesville, won Miss Statesville. My dad at the time was on the committee. And so, he was pulled into that by one of his teachers at North Iredell High School. And I think he was originally just pulled in because he was a football player and he could carry around the heavy stuff around the stage. But then once they figured out
You
was
need that.
a singer, and when they figured out he was a singer and was passionate about the organization as well, he stuck around. They kept him around. So fast forward, my mom was Miss Statesville, my dad's on the committee, and they get to know each other, and they ended up getting married. And so growing up for me, a lot of women who get involved with the Miss North Carolina or Miss America organization from a young age, it's because they started as what's now being rebranded as a Little Sister, which is a non-competitive mentorship program for girls age 5 to 12.
Cool.
So if there's any listeners who have little girls that want to get on stage and have no stress about it, but to just try something new, that's a great opportunity. But I wasn't involved in that way. I was exposed to the organization through what I saw that it did for my parents. You know, my mom got one of her first big jobs because she had made a connection as Miss Statesville that allowed her to go into, become employed at the buyer's office at Belk. And so and getting to know all of the people that were so integral to them, that are still really close with them. And now I'm able to work with on a daily basis is really awesome. Just that legacy that I'm able to experience. So yeah, I mean, I begged my parents to let me do pageants for a long time because I was like, oh, this is going to be something really cool for my life. It's going to bring me friends and people and opportunities. But they said to me, you know, if yes, it does come with a lot of opportunities, and that's something to be serious about. And so they said, if you're saying that you want to do this, then that means you really have to work for it. So I competed in my first Miss America organization pageant at age 15 after doing some practice pageants starting at age 13, because at the end of the day, I really wanted to become Miss North Carolina, become Miss America. And so that starts on a local stage. So I competed in the teen organization, which is for ages 13 to 18 or 17, depending on when your birthday is. And I absolutely gained so much. And I really wanted to be Miss Statesville's Outstanding Teen, which was the name of the teen title at the time. But they were not having a teen pageant at that time. And so I represented Rowan County, and then I followed that by representing the Carolina Foothills region, followed by representing Charlotte in the teen state pageant. And I always did relatively well. I came close a couple times. And walked away with a couple $1,000 in scholarship money, but good. I never won that title, which was hard for me, right? When you're a teenager and you hear people say no and then no again, that's challenging. But again, the end goal was always Miss North Carolina, Miss America. So when I decided I wanted to jump back into competing as a Miss, which is for ages 18 to 28, there's a big age range there.
Yeah.
I decided to wait until I was mostly done with college because I wanted to give it my all. And I really wanted to go to Miss North Carolina as Miss Statesville. And not just that, but win Miss North Carolina as Miss Statesville. So I thought about it and I was like, okay, if I go and I compete in Miss Statesville, and that qualifies me to compete at Miss North Carolina, and I don't win Miss North Carolina on my first try representing Statesville, well, that might be hard for me because I really wanted to bring that win back to Statesville. And so I knew that kind of I had to put more pressure on myself because that was a part of that accomplishment for me, was being the first Miss Statesville to become Miss North Carolina.
That's big.
To follow my mom and that legacy of having been Miss Statesville. And so because a lot of women compete at Miss North Carolina for years and years and years and years, and they never win, or they maybe win on their last try, and maybe, 5 years ago they represented their hometown, and now they're representing an area that's very far away from where they actually are from. And that's perfectly fine. But for me, I wanted to bring this back to Statesville. So that kind of paints a picture of how I kind of got back involved. And I'm really lucky that I only had to do the state pageant one time, and that I got to bring that back to Statesville, because I know that's something, especially following my homecoming celebration last week, which you were at, which I was so grateful for.
Wonderful time, beautiful day.
But that seeing how much it meant to the Statesville community really put it in perspective, that the accomplishment is much bigger than just the crown that I'm wearing on my head.
Oh, and actually, way back long ago, dated a young lady that went to Miss North Carolina. So I was the guy in the tuxedo with the flowers. So I've been there, seen that, and done it. And it's pretty. Yes. And to win it on your first time, really kind of rare. A lot of those girls 2, 3, 4 times, they'll go at it till finally it's their turn. And so very impressive. And folks, the other Sunday, whenever we did have the homecoming, I guess party we'll call it, for Taylor, she put on a heck of a performance. So gifted. A very talented young lady, can sing, very, very beautiful voice, and very impressed. That was the first time I had really got to hear you sing, and I thought, wow. I see I can see Broadway in your future real easy, or any of the other things. Who knows what? The sky's the limit for you, or not even that. So, and it's seeing everything. We got a break here. We got to take in like 10 seconds. So we'll get back. But Danny Davis, now Ryan Pagars, a lot of people pushing. So just hang tight, Taylor. We'll come back. We got a strong 15 minutes to finish. All right.
Taking care of Iredell with NC Representative Jeff McNeely will return after this short break on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Asheville native Kanan Cox is performing Friday, August 25th at Kane Center for the Arts. Get your tickets while they last. Show starts at 8 p.m. Visit kanearts.org. That's
Taylor, are you there?
Yes.
Hold tight. Hey, we're going to talk about your platform because I know you want to get that out there. Because I know everyone, you have to have that. That's part of the deal. So we're going to talk about your platform. So just giving you a little warning. And then we'll go in to talk a little bit about Miss America and then how we can follow you through this journey. So just know those are the things coming. Okay, hold tight.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Eats in Cornelius, Friday, August 18th. Tickets are $20 online. Enjoy live music and at a fun venue. Absolute Queen, Friday night at Boatyard Eats in Cornelius. To buy tickets, visit boatyardlkn.com. Ever wonder what Mooresville was like in 1873? The historic downtown walking tour is a self-guided tour that will take you on a stroll through Mooresville's past to learn about the history of the town. Featuring 18 stops, the tour begins and ends at the corner of Main Street and Center Avenue. It should take 1 hour to complete. For more info, visit downtownmooresville.com. What would it be like to play glow stick bingo? Come check out the Bingo Glow Party at the Statesville Civic Center. Tuesday, August 22nd, doors open at 6 p.m. All games will be played under blacklight. Glow stick bingo at the Statesville Civic Center. For more info, visit civiccenter.statesvillenc.net. Have an event you'd like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
I'm Holly Vale with your WSIC forecast. 12 mostly sunny skies today with a high near 93. A heat index value as high as 103 and a light southwest breeze. Partly cloudy for this evening with a low around 75. And mostly sunny skies for Tuesday with a high near 92. Heat index values as high as 101 and partly cloudy for Tuesday night with a low around 65. I'm Holly Vale from WSIC's Weather Center.
Hey, this is Jeff McNeely. We hope you go out and visit the fine folks at G&M Milling Company in downtown beautiful Lowray, North Carolina. That's 4000 Taylorsville Highway, 704-873-5758. Give them a call or go visit for all your livestock needs, as far as feed or seed or whatever. They'll be glad to help you out. They're really good folks. I've known them for a long, long time. Go visit G&M Milling, 4000 Taylorsville Highway, Lowray, North Carolina.
Taking care of Iredell continues. Here's your host, NC Representative Jeff McNeely, on the new 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
All right, we're back here for the last part of the show. We got about 15 minutes. We're back here talking to Miss North Carolina, Taylor Lloyd. Taylor, you still with us?
Yes, I am.
All right. Sorry I have to take these breaks, but bills have to be paid, unfortunately. So that's the way it works in the world. But, hey, all right. Now, every young lady that wins all these different pageants, there's a platform, we'd call it. And basically, it's something, an initiative you want to set forth and do during your reign. So tell us a little bit about your platform for Miss North Carolina.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. My community service initiative or platform is called Healing Hearts Through the Arts. I began work with that formally in about 2015, and I established as a 501c3 nonprofit in 2018. But the events that kind of led me to creating this and starting this project were around 2008, 2009. For those of you that have been involved in the community for a long time, my younger brother, Preston, was involved in a traumatic lawnmower accident. And he was 4 years old. I was 7. I was there that day. And he spent 3 months at Levine Children's Hospital in Charlotte and was in a coma for a month. And so there was not a lot of recreation or activity that was available to him, especially being in a coma, of course. But we were able to play music for him so he could keep some of that brain function. And then when he was out of the coma, using art and things like that that helped him regain some fine motor skills. When he had to relearn how to do everything, relearn how to walk, relearn how to talk. And so that was really a challenging, it's an understatement to say that was a challenging time for our community. The amount of grief that we all endured, not knowing if he was going to make it to the end of the week. And so not just for Preston in his medical recovery, being able to use music and art to help him, but also for me. Like I said, I was there the day the accident happened. I remember it. And so when you're 7 years old and you're not even old enough to watch a scary movie, right? How do you cope with when you see something so heartbreaking happen to somebody that you love? And so for me, I found that I could express myself and put words to the feelings I had through using music and art. And so on a very basic level, going to voice lessons and dance class allowed me to keep some of the normalcy in my life. But on a much greater level, it allowed me to express myself when I didn't even know what I was feeling or how to feel it. And so because the community support was so great for what happened to Preston and everything after, it was really important to me to give back, because I really believe that things that we go through in life are not just for ourselves. There are things for us to learn and grow through, and to help other people, so the next person that experiences something like you did can have maybe just a little bit easier of a time getting through it. And that's really the crux of Healing Heart Through the Arts. It's not just that you have to use music and art if you're having a bad day or you're going through a tragedy, but it's that accessibility to the resources that we know that science tells us that it works, right? And so knowing that we can use music and art, not just to feel better if we're having a bad day, but to emotionally cope, using those projective canvases, and also for our brain function to be assisted. Those are all things that really kind of work into what I am trying to promote. So I'm really fortunate. I've been able to raise nearly $10,000 for Healing Hearts Through the Arts over the years. And about 7,000 music and art supplies have been collected and donated to hospitals, to veteran centers, to underserved communities around North Carolina and beyond. I even was able to, visit a school in Nicaragua and bring them some items. And so, especially when we think about the stigma around the mental health conversation, obviously, I'm a tough girl. I've been through a lot, but I also am somebody that has an anxiety disorder. I have ADHD. And so, no, that doesn't mean that I'm nervous all the time and I'm tapping my leg all the time, but it just means that I have a greater sense of awareness of what makes me feel, good, what makes me feel upset or nervous. And so having more information about myself in that way has even made my connection to my platform even stronger, because I'm personally benefiting from it. You can't sell somebody something that you wouldn't use on yourself, right?
That's right.
And so for me, understanding that we can use music and art as a way to open the door to the conversation of better mental health and wellness, whether or not you have been diagnosed with anything. But to open the door to that conversation and remove some of the stigma, because everybody deserves to have resources that make them feel good about themselves, to make them feel like they can get through the day, no matter what it is they're going through. If you had a really bad meeting at work, or if you are going through a family tragedy. It's something that speaks to everybody, and that's what's really important to me. Is really making sure people know what's available to them, and it doesn't take a lot to do a lot.
Well, I've heard them talk a lot about PTSD with veterans coming back, and to just
Absolutely.
be able to put the headphones on and go to music and zone out. To get to a better place. So that's the thing with mental health. We're trying to figure out how to get people to a better place from where they are now.
Yes.
Well, all right, and that's a great platform, I see you've been working hard at it, and I know you'll put that out there this coming year. Of course, we got something big coming sometime. We don't know when, but we got another pageant, Miss America.
Yes.
Have we heard any info as far as where it might be held at, or I guess Atlantic City maybe? Or does it held at the same place every time, or do we?
So for a long time, the pageant started in 1921 in Atlantic City. Atlantic City is its home, but headquarters is now based in Florida. So, we have a couple spots that because of what we know of where our leadership is based, that, yeah, sure, we might be in Florida, we might be in Atlantic City, we might be, anywhere in the United States. And so I think that because, for those of you who aren't familiar, Miss America, of course, with anything that's been around for over 100 years, there's a lot of change and there's a lot of growth opportunity there. And so we recently had a leadership change to Robin Fleming, who is our new CEO or Chief Empowerment Officer. And she really is just doing an incredible job of making the brand, unifying the brand, first of all, but also making us feel really special, I think is important because, yeah, it is a job, but, she takes the time to communicate not just with us state title holders and state leadership, but also with the local committees in what her vision is. Because at the end of the day, if you don't have that local pageant, you can't make it all the way to Miss America. Yeah. And so it's really been wonderful kind of seeing her vision take flight. So no, we don't know exactly when it's going to be, but I am really trusting in the fact that they're wanting to make it a wonderful experience for us. And so I would much rather wait a little bit longer, knowing that they're doing everything they can to make sure that it's an amazing experience for us rather than just rush into dates and location if it hasn't really been intentionally thought through. And so that intentionality is something that I'm really grateful for in our new leadership. And I'm really excited to see what else they have in store for us. Of course, I'm really antsy to meet all of my Miss America sisters. We have a big group chat. And we stay in contact. And so having that network of women in every single state is really cool that now I can say I know somebody from every state. So if I'm stranded in the middle of, whether it be Ohio or South Dakota, I actually got to meet Miss North Dakota about a month ago, that I know that there's somebody that's got my back no matter where I am, which is just it's just really cool. It's really exciting.
That is. Good networking, All right, got about 30 seconds or so, maybe a little bit more than that, maybe a minute. How do we follow you through this journey, Taylor? Is there somewhere or another on social media we can be followers of? What do you have? Anything?
Yes, absolutely. So on Facebook, if you look up Miss North Carolina, it's Miss North Carolina is the name of the Facebook page. And my profile picture is, it says Miss North Carolina in bold, gold font. Same thing on Instagram. If you look up Miss America NC or Miss North Carolina, I'll pop up. But also, if anybody has any specific questions, my email is taylor@missnc.org. And I'm happy to connect with people in our community, whether it be through events and opportunities in that way, or just to share the message of Miss America and empowering women to lead.
All right. Well, Taylor, it's been great having you on. I got to do a prayer. You can stay on the line with me, or if you want to hang up, but you always close the show with a prayer, and I'm going to put you in it. Dear Heavenly Father, dear Lord, we pray that you watch over Taylor as she travels all across this state and all across this nation. Be with her, keep her safe, Lord, and just lead and guide her in her daily steps. I pray you do that with all of us, especially those that are elected. Dear Lord, give us wisdom. I pray everything in your holy name, Jesus Christ. Amen. Thank you, Taylor. See y'all.
You've been listening to North Carolina Representative Jeff McNeely. Join Jeff again next Monday morning at 11:05 for Taking Care of Iredell on News Talk WSIC.